Alright, so before we start off, these are all the tools that will be needed to adjust the valves. First, we have this tool. This is used to adjust the valves. What I did was I used a tool from Powerbuilt. It's a common tool to adjust a valve, but I cut the handle off to make it shorter due to the limited amount of space with the NSX engine. So this tool costs around $15 on eBay. If you purchase the one that is used by Honda or Acura, it's I think it's around $90. So if you do this and you modify it, you'll save a lot of money. And next, you'll need this feeler gauge. You'll need to have a gauge that can read between 0.006 inches to 0.009 inches. And so this one actually, it had a bunch of those, and I removed all of them and I kept only 4 of them because that's all we need. And then next we have a torque wrench with a long or a deep 10mm socket. This to tighten down the nut to spec 14 foot-pounds for the Honda NSX. Next, we will need a long wrench. This is for turning the crank, and we will also need a 19mm socket and a long extension. As you can see, that way it can clear the right quarter panel. So that's all you really need. Some say you need a mirror, but I didn't need to use a mirror. Alright, so here's the NSX engine. And first we want to take note, on the left side, the first one here is the first cylinder, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then in the back is the sixth. So we're gonna do the valve adjustments for the number 4 cylinder. In order to do that, we need to make sure that the piston for number 4 is at top dead center. That way all 4 of the valves are closed. So in order to do that, if we look at the cam gear here, we can see that there's a number 4 and then there's an arrow, and we need to make sure that this arrow is parallel with this timing belt cover. And then we need to turn the crankshaft clockwise. So as you can see, the number 4 is getting closer to the timing belt cover. And then once that arrow lines up and it's parallel with the timing belt cover, then that piston is at top dead center. It doesn't have to be like exact. So right now that piston is at top dead center, and we can go ahead and do the valve adjustments for that cylinder. So right now we're going to focus on the intake side because it's closer out, it's easier to work with. We're going to use this feeler gauge tool. We're going to need a 0.006, 0.007, and a 0.008 inches. And so factory spec says that it should be either 0.006 or 0.007. And so in using this gauge, we're going to stick it in between the rocker and the lobe. And there's 2 of them, actually 3. The third one is for the VTEC, but we're only gonna focus on this one and the other one on the outside. So in using this gauge, as you can see, it's come through, so that's good. Let's try 0.007 inches and see how that fits. That's also going through with slight resistance. And so now we're going to try 0.008 inches. And if this goes through, then that means that this is too loose and we'll need to tighten it. And so that's not going through, so that's good. That's within factory spec. Again, we're going to do the same thing with this one, using the 0.006 inch feeler. Stick through. And as you can see, it's going through, so that's good. Now we're going to try the 0.007 inches. That is also going through as well, with a little bit of drag to it. And now we're going to focus on the 0.008 inches. So if this goes through, then again, it's going to be out of factory spec. But it's not, it won't go through, so that one is also within factory spec. Alright, so now we're focused on the exhaust side. For that one, the factory specs, it should be 0.007 to 0.008 inches. So if the 0.009 inches fits, then it's too loose. So using the 0.007 inch, we're going to stick it in like so. And it's going through. So that one is good. Now we're going to try 0.008 and see how that fits. So 0.008 is not going through. So that one is within spec. And now let's focus on the one on the right over here. So 0.007, it's going through with ease. Let's try 0.008. .008 is not going through, so that's within factory spec. So we don't need to do any adjustments for the number 4 cylinder. Alright, so I just finished checking up on all the other valves, and only one was out of spec. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to adjust the valve. For example, this one. If that one is too loose, then we need to tighten it down. So we will need to use this tool. Set it on top of the nut, and then put this down so that it's in the groove, and then turn the bottom handle counterclockwise to loosen, and make sure this doesn't move. And then once it's loose, the nut's loose, you want to turn this knob clockwise to tighten it down, but just a little bit because it's very sensitive. And then once it's where you want it to be, you want to turn the bottom one clockwise to tighten it just a little bit, and then remove the tool, and then using the feeler gauge, check it out again. And if it's too loose, then again you want to do the same thing. But if it's good, then put the tool back on, and then push this down and make sure it's in the groove, and then hold it so it doesn't move. And then the bottom handle, you want to turn it clockwise to tighten it. And again, it's important, make sure this doesn't move. Then once that's done, you want to torque it down to spec using the torque wrench. It's a 10mm deep socket, and then also have an extension, and then it's set to 14 foot-pounds of torque. So you want to tighten it, and then that's it.